Are you acting like a robot, or are you acting like a human being with all its flaws and imperfections? You see, this might be a provocative question to ask right now. And looking to the current astrological sky, I feel this is a very important question to ask. The ability to think original thought, the ability to communicate mind and heart is going to be one of the most valuable assets that you can possibly have moving forward in this world. You see, when I look to the sky, I often like to do research and meditation in the morning, and I always look to the sky first before I go into meditation, and I ask what question, what messages is coming from the sky in this current moment, and I try to the best of my ability and knowledge to weave together those questions with some answers from the sky and so forth, and to stay open to what comes to me. And a question that really touched me this morning was, why is Mercury staying in Cancer longer this year? Why that sign of all the 12 zodiac signs? So this is not unusual. We have Mercury. Mercury is a planet that moves the fastest when we watch from the Earth. It's changing signs every 15 to 30 days, but it stays longer in one sign when there's a retrograde, and it can stay up to, I think, around 70 days in one sign. So depending on the year, Mercury would stay longer in one of the zodiac signs. And I was like, yeah, but with all this Cancerian energy right now, what is the message? Because I felt so profoundly that there is a message in this. You see, like when we look to Mercury, Mercury is the planet of communicating and communication from the gods. And I have another video coming out that is diving more into the essence of Mercury, but what I will say that is quite important is that even though Mercury is known as the messenger of gods, we have to understand the messenger of what? Like how is he communicating? Well, he has the ability to travel between the different worlds and enter spaces that are usually not accessible for many. Although he's not the only god in the sky who could travel between realms, he's the only one that takes form as the messenger and can bring divine messages from the gods down to earth, and then also descend all the way down to Hades in the underworld and transport souls down there. And he's doing so quite regularly because he was the herald, he was the messenger boy of Zeus, so he was going on these missions quite often. So when I look to Mercury in the sky, I see that there's always a message from the gods within his orbit and the way that he is trying to communicate with us here on Earth. And when I meditated on it, what I realized was that more and more of our communication are being outstationed to AI. And when you look around to the content available, more and more are either AI produced or people reading from a script that where every word they say holds a punchline, and it can seem extremely addictive because all the words are weaved together in a way that, you know, just pushes dopamine. But when you sense beneath that sort of language, there's a dissonance. There's a dissonance because this language is so robotic and so perfect. And when we have Mercury in the sign of Cancer right now, he's really truly emphasizing our ability for speaking from the heart, connecting mind and heart in our communication. Exactly what makes us human is all our flaws. it's the fact that I'm sitting here and communicating with you right now without having any scripts, just trusting that my mind and my heart and my spirit will communicate what it is that needs to be communicated on this video. And because I'm someone that also speaks multiple languages, I fuck up every single day in what I say. My words are not perfect, you know, all of this, but I trust that because I'm a human being, my words reaches you in a sense that connects you more, both in this connection, but also to the connection of yourself. And Mercury in Cancer has this ability and comes with this reminder right now to the world of saying, look, we are going through the next 7.5 years with Gemini in Uranus, where we will see tremendous expansion of technology and artificial intelligence, and really gigantic shifts in the way that we connect as humans, robots, perhaps other species, you know, all of these things. And Mercury yet is staying so long in the zodiac sign of Cancer to remind us that what makes us truly human is our emotions and our ability to communicate those emotions into art form, into something beautiful. Even hard conversations can be beautiful because they are flawed. They come with a certain vulnerability that you can never find in AI language. And, you know, there are good sides and bad sides of this revolution in technology that we see, but I think mainly right now humanity has to choose within every single person to use it only for assisting in lack of better words, because technology has made a huge impact on humanity for a long time, especially medical advancements that can really help people, you know. So in many ways, I'm not against technology at all. I use it every day on my own astrology software. You know, like, I'm not looking through a telescope trying to reach the sky that way, but I still try to connect myself deeply to actually looking at the sky and understanding real astronomy and being outside in nature and reading real books, diving into real literature that didn't know about AI. And there's another story that came to me in meditation, was because I asked the question, but what can we do about it? What is truly connecting us as humans and communication? And the message was, look deeper, look to how Hermes and Mercury are interacting on the sky right now, which I will make another video about. But also look to the pattern of where Neptune, the outer planet, has been moving. So Neptune moved into Aries this year and leaving behind an era of time where it stayed in Pisces. And for that era, over a decade, there was so much focus on spiritual evolution, and everyone suddenly online started to talk about things that maybe was not so much common knowledge before, you know, and having a common language for spirituality, connection. But the pitfall of Pisces is also that it can have a highly addictive nature and tend to stay in the ethers and not be grounded. And when we have Neptune moving into Aries this year, it is almost as the entire decade of spiritual language, knowledge about ourselves, shadow work, meditation, all of these things that became more common knowledge and more acceptable, now has to be embodied, has to be remembered, because it was almost a prediction of an incoming era where human consciousness will be challenged. Like, are we outstationing our original thought or our capability for original thought to something else? Or are we remembering that we are a soul inhabiting a physical body, and then the next level of mastering is to be able to, in a time where you could easily outstation your consciousness, choosing not to do so because you're so connected to spirit, learning from Pisces and Neptune for over a decade, saying, you know what, I can trust me. I can trust that I will get guidance from the gods, from Mercury, the messenger of gods, in the exact moment that I need it. And I'm very passionate about this subject. Like I can't stop talking about it. And I'll probably make more videos about this. So if it's something you have questions to as well, or want to know about specific aspects or placements, please feel free to leave a comment below and ask me anything you want. You know, like, you really need to, in this time, to remember what makes us human. And I think a really great example also coming in from Mercury is that, being someone myself that speaks more than one language, what I've learned is that it's never the person who speaks perfect textbook French or Danish or Swedish or German or English that are being understood the best, because there's something really off in a person who speaks too perfectly. It's like this robotic language, so entrained in the right grammar that there is a disconnection between their human self and the human in front of them. It's almost like this image of going in to order something at a French bakery and saying in textbook French and insisting on speaking that way rather than learning from the locals and how they would order, you know? And I think what I see a lot, and that is very clear to me, is so much content that is being produced that looks perfect and sounds perfect. And what truly disturbs me is that a lot of this content can be spiritual, artful, on the surface so beautiful, but there's something so disconnected in it. It's like you forget the essence of being imperfect and saying, oh, I forgot that word, or I don't know how to do this. And sometimes I also make mistakes. None of us are perfect all the time. Another thing that comes to me that I feel like I really want to convey today, even though we are 30 minutes in, is that Aristotle was under the teachings of Plato, and Plato was always trying to seek the ultimate truth, and sort of made the school of Plato was seeking the ultimate truth in order to have the truth being that one thing to strive for. And then Aristotle came in and revolutionized and made the foundation for rhetoric and speech writing, saying, actually I don't agree with this, because there are many truths. It's just about how well you argue for each truth. And I could go much more into rhetoric as well, but it reminds me of the 3 stages of when you want to write a speech, for instance, based on Aristotle, which were you need to have the perfect amount of ethos, pathos, logos, and depending on your audience and your message in your speech and your communication, it needs to be centered around one of these areas. However, it cannot lack any of them. So let's put that onto the AI language that we see right now, that seems like it's only based on logos and this is the right way of doing it, and it's sort of persuading human mind into believing that we are only needing logical, rational ways of being, which is again feeding into the machine that we've seen for centuries about human just needing to act like robots and cut off what makes us humans in order to just basically survive life. And we have seen already astrologically that there has been this revolution into more people waking up and understanding that we are soul within a body experience, and there's so much that our physical senses do not pick up. And we are being asked in this astrological landscape to remember that as the foundation of everything that we do moving forward, and at the same time taking in the way that the world is moving, knowing that we hold much more agency for where the world is going on a personal level than we think. We are much stronger, much more powerful individually than we tend to think, but all power comes with responsibility. At least the kind of power that is healthy comes with a responsibility to at least seek for the different levels of truth, and truth can be communicated through the heart. So I want to take all of this back to the questions: are you a human or are you a robot? Whenever you treat yourself in a day, let's say you have stress and you treat yourself as, I shouldn't be tired, I should do this, now you are treating yourself as a robot. Whenever you think your speech needs to be perfect, or you need to create something that is like, wow, mesmerizing for everyone else, that's the robotic way of thinking. The human way of being is to step back into the knowledge of your own heart, to the nature surrounding you, and asking the right questions. What does this moment need from me? How can I more fully embrace myself and others? And how can I communicate that to the best of my ability? Remembering that communication are many things. Mercury are many things. It's everything from telepathy to real communication, to your thoughts, to languages, to heart intelligence, to the frequency that you send out. So many things. So if I can leave with one note from the sky, that is to really think about what is it that makes you uniquely you and uniquely human. So that's it for me today, folks. Big subject. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in another video. Bisous.